There he is.
Standing.
Look at this guy.
Standing Frank.
Getting ready for the match tonight. Frank Seravalli. What are the shirts? The search on the chairs. Did they say anything? They've got them all set out there.
It's for Pinder.
Rats Rain.
Yeah, they do have a lot of
Towels.
rats.
Yeah. Right. They're still doing it, eh?
Still doing the rats.
The rats.
Actually, it's amazing if you look in the netting behind above the rink.
There's some
you
stuff.
Can't see it on camera, but if you look at the netting, there's 2 rats stuck in there, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Just didn't make it to the ice.
I wondered if, because we complain about everything, because the empty netter goes in and then the rats hit the ice. Are we going to get a delay game penalty for the Florida Panthers? Please do not throw things on the ice. But
this is your final warning. Gary's mad.
They're more easygoing in Florida, I guess. We've been talking about it. Obviously, it was a heck of a game. 1 back and forth. This wasn't a defensive showcase or a.
Oh, you like game 1? That's so weird.
Well, I was going to say you must have thought it sucked because we kind of thought it was an entertaining game. So sorry you had to sit through game 1, Frank.
Wow. So you guys like hockey games like that? That is wild.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Not often.
That's good. You're finally figuring it out, Frank. The Oilers said all the right things afterwards. We're not worried. We played well. There's nothing. We just keep doing what we're doing. And they're right. But you hate losing a game like that in a game 1. You're the road team. And to go in and you outshoot them, you outplay them, and you get goalied for the most part, that stings for sure.
It's a tough one, man. Like, I look at that and I listen to them after the game, and I don't know that I've ever seen a team so happy with a loss. Like, Rhett, I'm sure part of you listening to that, you go, what? There are no moral victories in June. The deserve to win-o-meter, that doesn't count when it comes to hoisting Lord Stanley. That's like the road to hell in the Stanley Cup playoffs has been paved with comments like that for decades. That part was a little bit surprising to me. I think if you're the Oilers, there's 2 things that you're looking at. You're going, 1, the moment wasn't too big for us. Like when they wheeled out the Stanley Cup to put it at center ice before the anthems, this is a team that didn't play in the Stanley Cup final last year. Everyone wondered how would they react. That would be a positive to me. And then the other thing is too, for all this talk about the Panthers being, so much of a better team and the clear sort of heavy favorite in terms of prediction, the Oilers didn't look like, even though they lost the game, they didn't look like a team that's on a different level or playing in a different arena. So to me, I think the fact that you can play with these guys and the moment wasn't too big, those are the positives. But to sit here and think that the Panthers aren't also going to be better in game 2, that's the part that's a little tough for me to figure.
So when did the cup being out? I don't think that's traditionally happened often, if ever. What's the story there, Frank?
Well, it was around and it was in the arena on display during the bubble, but that's because no one was there watching it.
Right.
This time around, they wanted to just try and do something a little different. Maybe a new tradition that they start to just show you right, sort of before you drop the puck. Hey, boys, this is what you're playing for, as if they didn't know already. But I kind of like the theater to have that wheeled out and you see it there.
I liked it too.
Well, it's the greatest trophy in sport. You can't overuse it, in my opinion.
Mike Russo had a report that it's like since the 60s, this is the first time that they've done it. And some people were saying that, well, this takes a little bit away from the cup is in the building moment. I disagree. I thought it was pretty cool because we haven't seen it. It's like, oh shit, there. Right?
And then you bring it out whenever it's time that someone has a chance to win it. It's not like it's going to be flaunted all over town or in the building every time.
Yeah. Now, did the players know?
It's not the Larry O'Brien. It's not
this is the trophy of sport.
World Series trophy. There's something about that thing.
Yeah.
So to your point, I wonder if they weren't prepared. I'd almost want my team prepared for it. Yeah. Hey, they're bringing the cup out. Just don't even need to say anymore.
The teams were prepared. They were told beforehand, hey, this is happening. And I don't know if you noticed or if they I don't know what they showed on TV, but Connor McDavid was he didn't even look over at it.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was a cool moment. And to your point, it's felt like that for a while for the Oilers, that the moment hasn't been too big for them. Changes tonight though. We were kind of talking Cody Ceci and Nurse, those two, it's been well documented their struggles as a pairing. Were you surprised to see Knobloch go back to that pairing? And then obviously it leads to Ceci being a spectator tonight.
Likely to be a spectator, yes. Evander Kane walking around downstairs telling everyone that he's in tonight, despite not participating in the morning skate. Always find that to be interesting. But there was some talk, would Ceci potentially, could they go 11-7 and Ceci is the seventh guy? Look, you could go around and around in a circle here. I was surprised to see them go back to Nurse and Ceci because it clearly hasn't worked. The numbers don't lie. You can make fun of plus minus all you want, but when you're on the ice for that number of goals against in one single playoff run, and then you see the soft play that Ceci made down the other end of the ice in game one that directly leads to a goal, and it's two parts. It's Ceci being soft on defending, but then also Darnell Nurse, like, Rhett, how many times did you say to yourself, put your stick on the ice? Like, you're defending in front of the net. It's not that complicated. Part of these are fundamentals that it's not working. They need more from Darnell Nurse. They needed more from Cody Ceci to go back and switch things around now. The only question that I have is we've also kind of seen that the Oilers don't really like Darnell with Desharnais. So what does that look like in game two? I think it made sense we would see Desharnais at some point, bigger guy that can handle the pressure and forecheck and physicality of Florida, but a little bit surprised to see those two go back together again.
It was an odd move to go back to those guys. Like, I mean, it's got to be one of the biggest questions. And at the end of the series, if they win, it won't matter. But if they lose, it will be hugely criticized.
And they get scored on early, right?
Yeah,
Like,
first goal.
At -2 in the first, how many minutes?
Yeah. Now, I mean, this is another we were already kind of talking about. I don't know. It doesn't really help anybody today, and it's revisionist history. But what deals potentially, as far as you know, could have been there for a defenseman for the Oilers? We know that they make the move for Henrique and Carrick, and it seemed like they don't really seem to need more depth. It's a veteran guy. You love having that presence in the room. But
at the expense of a top four defenseman is kind of knowing
just
where the cap was and that they only had that first as a real asset to move.
Always felt like that was the greatest need.
Yeah.
Was there not a deal for them to be made?
Oh, there was a deal. Well, first off, I think they really wanted Chris Tanev.
Right.
For one, I don't think the Flames wanted to make a deal with the Oilers if they could avoid it. Not that, the Canucks are that much more palatable as a trade partner, but that was part of it. And I'd say the other thing is the Oilers, I believe, made the incorrect assessment that they thought that Tanev wouldn't be a big upgrade over Ceci. And that is really probably where they've gotten themselves into some trouble here, is how much better is he than Ceci? Is it really worth, diving in and giving up the first round pick? Because had it ultimately come down to that, the Flames are taking the first from the Oilers instead of the second from the Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, flakes fly forever. If they somehow lose this series by 1 or 2 games and have done it with 2 to 2.5 top four defensemen, that's like Tanev is a huge upgrade in my mind.
Yeah, look, I think it's fair to say that the Oilers had a complacency issue when it came to looking at this trade deadline. I use this phrase all year long with them. I said, this is a burn the boats type year. You're not coming back after this. Not to say that they can't be back here next season. It's just don't leave any stones unturned. You're not going to care about a first round pick that's 26th or whatever overall that, they ended up trading anyway. That to me, Henrique and Carrick, like Henrique's been fine when he's been healthy, but not enough of a game changer for me to say that, you shouldn't have at least tried to kill more birds with that one big stone that you had. And also sometimes some other moves that they didn't make, like they had to potentially part with Warren Fogle or Brett Kulak or someone else as part of this, cap machination in order to bring in someone a bit heftier. That Kulak has been unbelievable in these playoffs. He's found a way to elevate in a big way. What I'd say is their deadline was certainly a mixed bag.
We'll pivot because I know that we've only got you for a few minutes with your responsibilities there. The Markstrom stuff seems to just be getting hotter by the day. Leave for the weekend, we come back, and now it's Ottawa, it's Toronto, it's New Jersey, it's Carolina. you may have nothing on it, but I have to throw it out there. Are you hearing anything, or what's your sense on the Markstrom stuff? Because we're another day closer to the draft, and it sure seems like it's building.
Look, I think the Calgary Flames, my understanding is they're looking at this, and are they willing to be a partner in making a Jacob Markstrom trade happen? 100%. The New Jersey Devils are still there, of course. When it comes to the Sens, when it comes to the Leafs, some of these other teams that might be interested, I really truly believe that the Flames felt like their best opportunity, the best return that they were going to make, the best package that they were going to get was going to be in trading him at the deadline. And it's not to say that they're not interested now. They still need to answer the questions that we've been talking about for months about how do you create a spot for Dustin Wolf? What does that look like? Is Jacob Markstrom potentially going to be happy if he comes back? How much of the competitor in Markstrom wants the chance to win? Markstrom holds all the keys here. I think he's open to lots of different things, but the Flames feel like the price needs to be met. The bar needs to be met in terms of what they're looking to get. And they feel like this time around, because of the other goalies that are now available, Allmark, potentially Saros, who's looking at a huge monster contract extension, whether it's a next tier down guy in Philip Gustafson, whoever it might be, there's way more goalies available now that New Jersey, my read on the situation is that they're looking at it going, we'll take any one of these guys, whatever one we can get our hands on at the price that fits. It's almost like their coaching search, whether it ended up being Craig Berube or Sheldon Keefe or Jay Woodcroft or whoever. It was like, we just want to get one of them. And as long as we get one of the guys on our list, that's great. And that's a lot how I view this market of there's more available than just Markstrom this time around. And they're going to have to, decide whether the price commensurate with that is worth it to them to move him.
Ottawa's new to that search, it seems, as well, because they've all, and again, it never happens, but it feels like all of a sudden, maybe it's because of if not the depth, just the uncertainty of that first round, maybe. But you've got the Flames at 9, and New Jersey will move 10, and Buffalo, they've been drafting high forever, and they got 11, and Ottawa, well, they've got 7, and they've been drafting high. Is there a chance that we could see
Detroit at 15, another team that could use better goaltending that not necessarily needs the prospect?
Coming. They're not trading their first.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't think Carolina's authentically in the mix either.
I don't either. They never value goalies.
They never value goalies, and they're definitely not going to be trading legitimate capital to get one, and they don't really want to pay one on their cap.
Yeah.
So you can cross Carolina off the list as far as I'm concerned.
All right, fella, we'll let you get on your way. Appreciate you. Enjoy the game tonight if you can. Try your best, and safe travels tomorrow.
What's better than this? Cup
I
final.
know. Nothing is. That's right.
Get some sun, Frank, eh?
Appreciate you, Frank.
Hey, I was out on the boat yesterday, had a few cocktails.
The boat.
Really?
I was pontooning. Where were you guys? Rhett, it was a day made for Rhett.
Yeah, you can see his face. He knows.
Throw the anchor in at the sandbar in Fort Lauderdale there. You got the cooler loaded up. We missed you, fella.
It's a little late for the invite. Yeah.
It's a little late. Yeah. That yesterday's boat ride, it's a little late for the invite. Yeah. All right, Frankie boy. Appreciate you. Take care, man. There he is, Frank Seravalli, down in sweet Florida. Sweet Florida.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.